Time for a drive on the dark side. Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500. Robots in Disguise 2000 Universe Scourge. Primus, help me, these titles are absurdly long. Blue Box is mostly blue and big. A classy leader class from all angles and completely obscured from a hands-on touch. The story of Scourge starts not from the 1986 Transformers movie, but a Japanese series known as Karoboto. Basically, some jerk called Gigatron thought it would be a laugh to steal some candy toys from a busted-up Cybertron vending machine. Turned out they were all cheap recolors, mostly of the Combatrons. Last one, however, turned out to be a lucky draw G2 Black Convoy, who was also a jerk. And then Gigatron put on a wedding dress and they got married.
What a load of scrap metal!
This story was rewritten for Americans, and Black Convoy was renamed Scourge because who the hell remembers the blue robot from the movie that ruined the franchise? The first time. Got all that? Me neither, so here's a truck. Yep, vehicle mode first again, this time very Earth-style semi-truck towing a fuel tanker in black, dark gray, and silver with hot pink windows and teal pinstriping. Okay, now keep your head on straight here. This figure is a recolored version of the concurrently existing Laser Optimus Prime in the main Legacy toy line, which itself is based on the original Generation 2 Laser Optimus Prime toy that was recolored to represent Scourge from the 2001 Transformers series known as Robots in Disguise, whose name was Black Convoy in Japan. Whew. Now, according to certain accounts, this is supposed to look like a Western Star 4964EX from the 90s, but is kinda sorta mostly not. The proportions of the cabin and engine compartment are off for a start, but most damningly, the fuel tanks are back here instead of directly under the cabin itself, much like on the original Black Convoy here. This is an unfortunate side effect of recycling parts. As will be seen more clearly in robot mode, this figure reuses parts from Earthrise Optimus Prime. It's certainly not the worst vehicle mode because of this, but when compared to Black Convoy, it's kinda unflattering. Now, where Black Convoy's change to Robot Husbando is a super simple affair, Scourge has a few extra steps. Just a few, I swear. Okay, maybe more than a few. So in robot mode, we have what clearly looks like Optimus Prime in his goth phase, wearing shoulder pads so big they have their own street addresses. Yeah, these shoulders are very much the highlight of the design, as he otherwise has all the design cues of the standard Optimus between the head, window pegs, and legs that are like 80% the exact same legs from the Earthrise Optimus figure, which themselves were retooled from the Siege Optimus legs, so these boots have got some mileage on them. Okay, one thing that I was initially rather miffed about, and I'm still rather unfavorable toward, is the color scheme. As compared to the original Black Convoy, there's a lot of black on display here, where the original had more dark gray. Not to mention hot pink window pegs. In hand, this doesn't have me quite as miffed as I thought I would be, but as an update to my favorite evil Optimus Prime, it still stings. And for a quick note on posability, this figure retains the point standard, but because of the way the shoulder blocks work, the upward range in his shoulders is very limited. Speaking of, the shoulder apartments are occupied by a bunch of hot pink missiles. They won't come out because they live in a Chinese neighborhood, but it's a fun display option. Also, there is a fairly obvious matrix inside the chest that is once again far too small to hold properly, and is hot pink like all the rest of the translucent plastic on this figure, including the light piping in the eyes that I neglected to point out. Beyond that, the remaining accessories all come from the tanker trailer, so one quick transformation to base mode, we'll have a look at them. First, at the top, we have a rotating turret gun that can be removed and has two 5mm pegs, so it can be utilized by equally sized 5mm ports in various places on the base and figure as you see fit. Next, we have a couple of handheld melee options. One hot pink Sword of Fury, and what I think is supposed to be an axe, but honestly just looks like an oversized lollipop to me. You can also put them together to make whatever this is. I hate it. As for the base itself, the central tower section has this repair arm thingy, can spin all around, and can even come out and be part of the 5mm port shenanigans. And that's it! For a leader class figure, this loadout is very underwhelming, especially when compared to what comes in Black Convoy's trailer. Genuinely, I don't like or want to harp on this at the end of every review, but I really can't help but look at this whole thing and feel like I've been ripped off. The base figure of this set is very much the best part about this set, and just about worth it over the original in terms of articulation, but it still feels so minimalistic in pretty much every other capacity, with only a small number of accessories from a very small base section that makes for a very small truck and trailer combo. Honestly, I go back to my thoughts on Earthrise Optimus and how I skipped over the full package for the Voyager release because I thought the trailer wasn't really worth it. And, well, I still feel the same here. The trailer and what it encompasses just doesn't add nearly enough value to justify the price of a nearly $60 leader class figure. That's not to say I expect something as big and fully decked out as the original figure's trailer base. Even accounting for a better economy for this kind of thing, I still expect somewhat less, but not nearly this much less. And the colors, I know I said earlier they don't bother me as much in hand, but they still bother me. And if Toy Hacks doesn't get on top of this, I am very definitely whipping out the airbrush.
Spoiler alert, they did, and it's still not enough to avoid the airbrush.
So for all intents and purposes, I'd say the average collector should just skip this. But if you are either really into Black Prime repaints, or just this iteration specifically, then go on with expectations heavily tempered, and have divorce papers on hand for Gigatron. This has been a Devasia Mentality review. As always, thank you for watching. Check the description for links to my various social media, as well as my coffee page if you want to follow up on that. And peace out.